Hey, this is Jared here, all about cars, and my trusty trailer tugger here has lost its, well, hasn't totally lost, but slipped real bad in the first three forward gears, and that's because the 700 R4 transmission, which in most of its glory is laying around on my shop floor right now, and I'm gonna put her back together and make her right again. But I was gonna walk through some parts of that. The truck has 350,160 miles on it, and it has never had the transmission even out of the truck till now. And it's used for mostly for towing a flatbed tilt trailer that my 12,500 pound excavator rides on, kind of regular. And what I noticed over the last 30,000 miles is that when you put it in drive, it takes longer to get into gear than it should, longer till you feel it, engage. And I also noticed a little bit of when it goes for the overdrive, like in between intermediate and overdrive, not totally a flare, but kind of a fuzzy or a soft transition. And I'm going to go over how to address that, and mostly in this video how to take your carrier, and how to deal with what it's got here. If the camera will focus, you doggone thing, but it's worn in about 40 thousandths of an inch where it pushes against the transmission case, and what that contributes to is these cast iron sealing rings that are responsible for your overdrive and for your intermediate clutch engagement. When this is walking sideways, it can cause a lack of sealing, and you'll know if you tear into the tranny and you find that these three bolts, which are really just oil passages for those clutches, if you go and you're taking them out of there and you find that they're not even making contact, they're letting that whole center carrier move around, you've got this problem going on where that carrier, those parts I was showing you that are worn so badly, and especially opposite the bolts. So the bolts are over here and that looks all right, but opposite that, it's really worn in where it pushes on the case. So that causes that center carrier to not be straight in the sealing bore for this. So it's impossible for those rings to maintain a continuous seal as it goes around. But that carrier pushes up against this land in the transmission, and the land is okay, but the center carrier is not. And the solution to that is to take the 50 thousandths of an inch thick snap ring out of a Chevy 350 transmission, and you got a machine to correct the lands on this carrier, and then this guy sits between the transmission case and the carrier, so that it has more surface area to push against, and it kind of acts as a thrust washer between that carrier and the case, which should cause it to wear much more slowly. So the ideal thing to do is to put that carrier on a lathe and to cut this land down, about 50 thousandths of an inch. But I've been having trouble finding someone to do this for me, So I'm gonna do it myself with stuff that most people have in their shop, which is a drill press and this is a 3-inch hole saw from Harbor Freight, which has carbide teeth, which cut aluminum really well. So, and then you have to take your arbor here, and you've got to take the grub screw out of there, which is now right there, and take out this bit, because it'll keep it keeps you from being able to have your table the right distance from your chuck. And it's important, if you're going to do this, you make sure that your drill press, when it's all the way up, has a real tight bearing, no play, and you can't push it up at all. You know, zero observable play, because if you try to do this on a drill press that's not that way, when you push your work in between here and your table, it'll move up and you won't be able to keep your dimensions correct. So that's what I'm going to be working on here for you.